Hi everyone, and welcome to our new video. On this video I would like to speak about our start. How do we start the whole thing before we dive into the setup, before we start to set up everything. So I would like to speak about our first steps for the best start. First of all, we did in our previous videos is open the accounts. We opened two email accounts, Gmail, one for PayPal for all our payments in and out, one for eBay and for BeGlobal. After we done that, opened our accounts, we have setup and configuration. Okay, so step number 2, after we done that, we need to set up our eBay store and our BeGlobal price monitor. On my next video I'm going to show you how we start the setup. We will first going to start with the monitor, and then we're going to do some things on eBay in order to finish the setup. Step number 3 is the eBay training. Always. Why did I say always? Because we always have to learn about these two main I call it software. So eBay, it's a marketplace, but it has so many places. I want each and every one of you to master eBay platform, and again I would like all of you to master the price monitor. After you will master both areas, you will be able to become a very successful sellers. But if you will have some, let's say, things you do not know how to do, this is why we're here. But I want you to understand that we start to train. This is why at the beginning we only start to list 5 or 6 or maximum of 10 items. This is how we're going to learn how I take the item from BeGlobal website, how do I list it to my eBay store, and what's happening after I sold the items, how I do the price formula, how I deal with messages, with questions, how I set up my templates to make the listing looks nice and fancy, and more and more and more. But the most important thing here that I would like to talk with you about in this video is that we cannot have a successful store within a day or two or a week. We have to learn, we have to practice, and these are the steps. Okay, first of all, we open the accounts, we establish all what we need, we put our foundations, then we do the setup, which is part of opening the accounts. Actually, we set up everything perfectly, step-by-step videos and step-by-step instructions by me. Then we start to train. eBay training is important, and so on the price monitor. Then after during, not only after, but during this our learning process, we decide what items to sell from the website, and we start to list items to my new stores, and starts to grow. We have limitations we need to remove, we have feedbacks we need to acquire, we have to study the softwares. So I made it easy for you by giving you these steps. Okay, open the accounts, do the setup, training, learning eBay and the software of BeGlobal Price Monitor, and then after we decide what we want to sell, we list it, and we start to grow from 10 to 20 to 100 and to 400 items. Now I want to speak about number 4 a little bit, decide what to sell. Here you can decide to sell only one type of items, which means a niche store. Let's say I will take a classic example of pet supply. We do have a lot of pet supply, so you can choose and say, okay, I'm going to do a pet supply store. The second option is to do a mega store. I'm going to sell everything from everything. I'm going to do an eBay store of a few thousands of items, and then I will be able to succeed this way. Okay, so both options are nice. We're going to speak about that, but before I do want you to have a way of thinking. I do want you to know what you're doing. So I want you to, this is why I added number 4 here. I want you to think what you are going to start with. Even if you start selling I don't know, outdoor equipments, you can change your store afterwards to whatever you want. You can open a different store, another store. So I just want you to decide which items you're going to choose from the store and what are you going to start with. Okay, I hope it's pretty clear. As I always say, I'm here to answer all your questions. And now let's move on to the setup. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Thank you.